What's up, guys? My name is Stoody and I'd like to welcome you all back to another video. And in today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys my first starting Supercoach team, AFL Supercoach team for the 2024 AFL season. Now, obviously, this is subject to change over time. This is just me throwing around a few names, just having a little bit of a think of what I might do. But yeah, I'm sure my team will look a lot different in a month or so time and what it does now. So main reason why I am making these videos, I guess, to create a bit of discussion on what you guys are thinking. Maybe you can write a few comments or whatever, and maybe tell me what you guys are thinking, and maybe it might give me some ideas. Who knows? But these are just the ideas I have now. Some people like to make these videos early so they can look back on the team later on in the year just to see what it looked like. For some reason they're interested in that. That's not really my thing. I don't really care what my team looks like right now. Well, I won't in a month or so time. I won't in 12 months time. That's for certain. I don't look back on these videos, but a lot of other people do for some reason. But yeah, so the reason why I'm making this video, I guess maybe for some views and just to have a discussion. Also, I have a league code already that I'm going to give out. So if you guys want to join my league already, feel free to do that. Hopefully I'll have multiple leagues. You can join up to 20 leagues this year, which is insane. So I'm going to try and join heaps of leagues and all of that. It'll be a lot of fun. So yes, let's just have a look at my team. So I will show you guys the league code later. But yeah, so this is my current team as it stands. So yeah, a lot of people seem to have similar teams, which is annoying. But yeah, this is just what I've gone with. So we've got Nick Dacos. He has a bye. The thing is, opening round doesn't count. So there's certain players that have an extra bye. I haven't really thought about the bye yet. I've just gone with who I think is the best players. But I'm sure once the season comes along, the bye, I will think about that and maybe select certain players based on their bye. Yeah, Dacos does have a bye. I can't remember if it's like round 4 or 5 or something like that. He has his bye. Something along those lines. So, but Dacos is a gun. He is someone that everyone will have in their team at some point. I know 650 is quite a bit to pay for him, but he might drop a little bit at some point, but chances are he's not going to drop that much, and you don't want to be chasing that sort of cash at any point if he goes out and scores. If he's averaging 140 in the first 8 rounds or something like that, it'll really hurt if you don't have him. A guy that I don't have that I really did want to bring in was Sicily. But yeah, there's not really many mid-price options in the midfield. That's the main reason why, at least not from what I know of. So I've got Ridley in my backline as well. And I started him last year. It wasn't a good start. I started him over Dacos, but I was able to quickly trade him to Dacos. So I lose a trade, but there wasn't a whole lot of damage done. In the first 2 rounds, I traded him at the end of round 2. And then I brought him back in later on in the year, and he was a fantastic get. I brought him in cheap as chips, and he delivered big time for me. So, yeah, he's been a roller coaster. I mean, he's burned me in the past, but he's also been really good for me in the past. So, hopefully he's really good for me at this time. 530k is definitely a good price for him for what he's capable of. And with Mackay being an in for Essendon, that should free up Ridley and make him play a Supercoach friendly role. So, yeah, hopefully Mackay doesn't get injured. That could be a bit of a disaster if that happens. But yeah, Ridley, he's done it in the past. He can do it again. He's pretty young too. He's only, 23 to 25. He's in that range, I think. So he's still pretty young. So his best footy's still ahead of him. I've got Kaiden Coleman, or whatever his stupid first name is. Some people call him Kitty Coleman, but that sounds cringe to me because Kitty, it sounds like a bit of a pedo name for me. So I don't like calling him Kitty Coleman. Yeah, it just seems pedo-ish. So I'll just call him Coleman. Yeah, he's a mid-price option at 398k. He's pretty popular, and I think he can definitely be a good option. He'll be Daniel Rich's replacement, and Daniel Rich played a very Supercoach friendly role. So at 398k, if he can average, 95 or something like that, maybe even more. He had a really good performance in the grand final too. He's a younger player, up and coming as well. So maybe he'll explode this year. So I think he can definitely be a good option for us. So that's why I've got him in my team at the moment. He may be traded out. I don't know. But yeah, I do like Coleman. I like what he could bring. So that's why he's in my team right now. A guy who might be an absolute lock is Zach Williams. At 216k, that's a bargain for what he can do. He's not the same player he used to be, but if he averages 80, 85, that's definitely worth it. And if he can, somehow get close to his best again, he could very well be a keeper. You never know. So, yeah, I think Williams, you've just got to have him. When it comes to mid prices, if you think they can make you 150k, then bring them in. Like Coleman, I think he can definitely get up to 550k with what he's capable of doing. And Williams should certainly get up to 400k, I think. So, yeah, that's why I've decided to pick them. Daniel Curtin's a really highly rated draftee. I think he will be playing quite a lot this year in the senior team. Josh Gibcus, I've heard he is doing pretty well and looks like he's on track to play round one. If his injury is good, he's definitely playing. So 150k, yeah, he's basically rookie price. So you might as well put him in your team. He won't score massive numbers, but he'll definitely make you 150k, I think. So definitely have Gibcus in your team. And then on the bench, you got Zach Reed. I heard that he's pretty decent and might get some game time for Essendon. And Nick Caulfield, obviously, is a guy coming off an ACL. He probably won't set the world on fire, but he'll definitely make you some cash. He's a top 10 draft pick. He's played senior footy before. He's rookie price, so you might as well have him in, as long as he's playing, of course, or if there's different rookies. The structure of the team is the rookies are going to affect the structure of the team. If the best rookies are pretty highly priced, then yeah, you're going to have to spend a little bit more coin on rookies, and you might not have as much coin for premiums. But yeah, that'll sort itself out as the preseason goes along. So yeah, it could very well change the structure of my team, these rookies. So midfield. Now, I've gone really midfield heavy when it comes to the premiums. Obviously, there's some, typically, you want 3 premiums each line if you can. Usually, midfield, you start with 5 premiums and maybe a mid-pricer as well. You want to try and avoid having trash rookies on field, especially in the first few rounds. So, when you're trying to generate cash. So, yeah, that's why we pick mid prices, that sort of thing. But this is the midfield. There's a lot of really good options in the midfield, I think. There's so many good options. Christian Petrarca, he's going to be the main man. I think Oliver's basically done with his career. He's absolutely cooked. He's a drug addict now, which is pretty sad to see. So, yeah, Petrarca is going to be the main guy. He's a superstar. He does have a bye, though. He has the latest bye out of the opening round teams. So, yeah, obviously you got to contend with that as well. Maybe that's what gets him out of my team in the end. But Petrarca, he's a gun, obviously. Zach Butters, a younger player as well, about to explode. I think he can definitely average 115 plus. So, yeah, I think he doesn't have a bye either. He doesn't play opening rounds, so yeah, that's a bonus. Luke Davies-Uniacke, he started the season on fire. He had a slump, got injured, and then finished the season on fire last year. If he can just put on a consistent season like that, the guy's going to be a superstar, and maybe this year could be his year. He averaged pretty highly last year, despite his slump. So, if he doesn't have like a massive slump this year, he could go massive. So yeah, he'll be the main guy in North Melbourne's midfield. So, and he doesn't have the opening round fixture either, so that's good. Errol Gordon, someone who does play opening round. I've only got 2 players out of my premiums in the midfield that don't play opening round. That's Butters and Davies Uniacke. So Gordon, again, was like in the top 3 in the Brownlow or something like that. A young player, exploding as well. So I think he's another good option. Tom Green as well. He's pretty much starting to become a superstar of the league. He's only getting better and better as well. So that's the reason I've got him in my team at the moment. Sam Walsh, he's very cheap. 576k. I think that's very good value. What he can do, he had a bit of a down year last year, got injured as well. But for what he can do, he's definitely Carlton's best midfielder, maybe even their best player almost. So yeah, I think Walsh is a really good selection, especially if he's able to get back to his best. He's definitely capable of 115 plus as well. And then after that, we just got the rookies. You know, there wasn't really many mid prices in the midfield that I really liked. I think Harms is a mid forward actually, but I don't like Harms as an option. Then you just got all the rookies, really sharp manner. Binns, Clark, Sin, guys who I think are definitely possible to play game time this year. A lot of these rookies I've selected, I just looked at percentage owned. That's how I got them into my team. So, yeah, and I actually have Supercoach Gold for once. I got sick of not being able to see the break evens when I was doing BBL Supercoach, so I just went and got Supercoach Gold. And yeah, so I don't have to go on Footy Wire anymore to see the break evens. There was no Footy Wire for BBL Supercoach, so I couldn't see the break evens. It was pissing me off. So I just went and got it so I could see the break evens. But yeah, here's the rucks. Max Gawn and Brodie Grundy. Back to the good old days. Gawn's going to be the main man. He can absolutely light it up at his best. Even Grundy can too. Grundy, he's a bit out of his prime, but he's still pretty good, I think, when he's the main man. Remember when he was the main man for a few weeks last year, he put up some pretty big numbers. So, I mean, we've got some 2 really good options as well in the ruck in Marshall and English. And I wouldn't, knock anyone who selects those 2 as their starting rucks, but they're both really expensive. With Gawn and Grundy, you're saving 300 plus K that you could use somewhere else. If I had picked Marshall and English instead of Gawn and Grundy, I wouldn't have been able to have, I guess, Coleman in my team. He would have been a rookie, possibly. And then that's still 100 plus K that I would need to get rid of as well. So maybe I wouldn't have 600k midfielder. Maybe he'd only be 500k or something like that. Maybe I'd have Miller instead of Petrarca or something like that. So it's strengthened my team overall. But yeah, I think Gawn and Grundy, they might score 5 to 10 points per game less than Marshall and English, but I think it's definitely worth that sacrifice because you're going to get those 10 points back elsewhere anyway, plus more, I think. I think that's the best value. I think it's a no-brainer, Gawn and Grundy, but I can see why some people would want to pick, Marshall or English. All right, the forward line is really dire. I had some serious issues thinking about who to pick, but I think my forward line has ended up being pretty much the same as everyone else's. I mean, you've got to have McRae. Even though I think he'll average 85, I think he's cooked. But he's the only actual premium sort of guy I think that you can pick that I'd actually consider a premium, possibly a possible premium. But I don't even know if he's a premium anymore. He's really been regressing over the last year or so. His role has been terrible. But if he gets a decent role, and maybe if last year was just a down year, not a regression year, maybe he could get back to averaging 110 plus or something like that. But yeah, for now, everyone has McRae. He's one of the most highest owned players. So the other guy, I've got Sam Flanders. Now, he's pretty highly owned as well. I started him last year and he burned me. I've got him in at the moment, but I don't know if that'll stay. Dimmer is the coach now, and typically Dimmer coach teams aren't typically the best Supercoach teams, so Supercoach players, I guess. So I would try and avoid Dimmer coach teams, Gold Coast players, but Flanders, if he can get back to his late season form last year, he's a bargain at 494k. Billings at 243k, again another bargain for what he can do. I'm sure he can get up to at least 400k, I think. So most people have him anyway. Then Harley Reid is an absolute lock. So the consensus #1 pick. He's the can't miss guy. He's got the highest owner percentage, as you'd expect. He's well over 70% last time I checked. And then I've got Watson, Darcy, Wilson, and Simpson. But yeah, those rookies will pretty much sort themselves out. So I'll show you guys my league code before we wrap this video up. So here's a league code to my first league. So I'll make multiple leagues. This will probably fill up at some point, and I'll make a new league and all that. So if you miss out, I'll do another league at some point in the future. And yeah, so that's the league code. I'll put it in the description so you guys can copy and paste or whatever. But anyway, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment like this. Be sure to become a channel member. Just click the join button next to my name. Also, be sure to subscribe to my premium members, Sean Dux and Matthew Prasenko. Hopefully I pronounced that right. Links to their channels will be in the description. Also, be sure to join my Discord server. It is called Australian Sports Community. Link to that is in the description. Also, be sure to subscribe to my second YouTube channel. It is called Stoody Archives. Link to that will also be in the description. Also, be sure to follow me on my other social media accounts. I have Instagram, I have Twitter, and I also have TikTok. The username for all those is StoodyYT, and links to all those will also be in the description. I hope you have a good day, and I'll see you all in the next video.